Our reporting has not taken us to a place where I would be able to say with any confidence that the result of it is going to be the president being guilty of being in cahoots with the Russians. There's no evidence of that I've seen so far.
How do we get the president?
I have no idea. And frankly, there may not be anything against the president. I have no idea. Seriously. I mean, it's a crapshoot.
Several months ago, the Washington Post applauded me personally in Project Veritas about one of our investigations, saying it, quote, validates his group and its controversial methods. But when we turned our cameras against them, the Washington Post cried foul. If we investigate one of their enemies, we're their friend. If we investigate one of their friends or them, we're their enemy. See, in the final analysis, it's really not about our methods or our techniques. Don't let them fool you with this talk about morality and ethics when it comes to undercover investigative journalism. This is about taking sides and whose side you are on. Undercover work is hard, it's messy, it's difficult, it's making sausage, but we use deception in order not to be deceived, because when you blindly report what people tell you, sometimes you tell people what's not true. But undercover journalism is extraordinarily effective. How effective? Ask the New York Times. Ask CNN. And today, ask the Washington Post. We focus on areas of profound importance. And nothing is more vital to the public interest than a responsible and reliable media, which has more power than the judicial, executive, and legislative branches combined. Politics is downstream from culture. Culture is downstream from data, the corporate media forces. Undercover work is the only way to expose dishonesty in these types of powerful institutions. The entire media establishment is against Project Veritas, for good reason. We're challenging their credibility, their veracity, and their monopoly. We are an existential threat to them. So with that, we take the challenge of exposing wrongdoers and the truth, and we take you to Adam Entus. He is an honest reporter who, when captured on our undercover camera, admits the Russia story, maybe nothing at all.
Haven't you guys been like the main paper on the Russia stuff?
But we really haven't addressed. Our reporting has not taken us to a place where I would be able to say with any confidence that the result of it is going to be the president being guilty of being in cahoots with the Russians. There's no evidence of that I've seen so far.
Adam Entus is the Post's national security reporter assigned to the paper's Russia beat. This year alone, he's written more than 50 stories about Russia, yet Entus doesn't believe that his reporting has led to anything substantial.
How do we get the president?
I have no idea. And frankly, there may not be anything against the president. It may be just lower-level people who are compromised by this. We just don't know. It's very hard to tell. So we just don't know.
I mean, there has to be something, right?
Maybe not. It could just be, lower-level people kind of being manipulated or manipulating. But it's very hard to. It's really black box.
What we don't understand is why the rest of the Post won't follow his lead. Take a look at this editorial that speaks definitively about the Trump campaign's attempted collusion. Or this one, titled, "The Russia Investigation is Getting Serious, and President Trump is Feeling the Heat." Entus says, not so fast.
In terms of the actual, secret arrangements where they're cooperating, we haven't seen anything that shows that yet. We've seen a lot of flirtation, if you will, between them, but nothing that in my opinion, would rank as actual collusion. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means we haven't found it yet. Or it may mean it doesn't exist.
Does it seem like we're getting warmer or cooler?
We're getting warmer, but it goes warm and then it goes cold. And then it goes cold.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Seriously. I mean, it's crapshoot. I literally have no prediction whatsoever as to what would happen. And I do all the stuff for the Post on this, so.
You do what?
I do most of this reporting for the Post. Oh. So I honestly can tell you, I have no idea. But that's the truth. We're just trying to figure it out. It's very hard.
In an August 29th editorial titled, "What More Proof of a Secret Russia Connection Do We Need?" the Post quotes Representative Elijah E. Cummings. He asks, Why, like so many times before, are the American people forced to find out new details about the president's relationship with Russians from strong investigative reporting instead of from the president himself? Good question, considering the Washington Post's strong investigative reporter calls the story a crapshoot.
If things happen, I mean, maybe it goes that way.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't. You know.
The makers meet.
It's very hard to tell. I don't know. But we're trying our best to figure it out. But to be honest, it's very hard. It's getting hard.
We understand there's a difference between the editorial pages and the news pages. The news pages engages in fact-finding. The editorial page does not. So why doesn't the editorial page reflect what the news people actually report? In this case, they don't. The editorial page is all about conjecture. The only explanation for the Post's mishandling of the Russia story is bias, a bias made blatantly clear by the paper's director of newsroom operations, Melissa McCullough.
I mean, is there more and more like he's not going to get this? Let's just hope he doesn't get reelected in another 3 years. So, just my take.
Yeah, he is a little self-centered. Only a little bit.
Living on a different planet, I think. But whatever. He's living on a different planet. But again, this is not. I shouldn't be saying this. We're not supposed to really talk about that kind of stuff.
Undercover journalism is hard. Ascribing motive to us is easy and lazy. We have hardworking journalists all across the country right now dedicated to finding corruption and shining a light on it. There are some things we can't talk about, some sources and methods we can't reveal. The mainstream media wants to destroy Project Veritas. Why? Because we hold them accountable. They see us as their enemy. Those who dwell within the media complex cannot abide us. It is not just their jobs they're worried about, it's their power. Their power to acquire money, their power to protect their friends and causes, their power over the elected and appointed, and their power over you and me. Project Veritas has a stone lodged between Goliath's eyes. The media wants me to kneel down and apologize. I will not. We will keep pushing. We will keep fighting. We will expose the truth because there's no one else doing it. No one else can do it. No one has the will to do it. They're out for blood, but will not surrender. We will never stop. Stay tuned.